Yes. Okay. Why even ask the question, right? It's a cyberpunk game. The corporation's gonna be evil. Well, believe it or not, I have actually heard the sentiment that the player wasn't given a reason to hate Arasaka.
Any particular reason you hate corporations?
Fuck corporations!
We are given no reason to want to be against Arasaka other than the idea of big company bad.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't know why, because of two things. Mikoshi and Soul Killer. Alright, brass tacks, just reading off of the definition on the wiki. Mikoshi is one of Saburo Arasaka's main projects. It is a data fortress located within cyberspace controlled by the Arasaka Corporation. It contains the digitized personalities of clients from the Secure Your Soul program, as well as the victims obtained through Soul Killer. Soul Killer is a black program written by one Cunningham. What it basically does is, number one, kill you, at least your physical biological self. Number two, make a one-to-one digital copy of your mind called an engram. And number three, store that engram in Mikoshi. Did you catch all that? Well, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. It's kinda hard to understand something if you're being told its definition instead of being shown what it does, you know? So, bear with me here, because I want to turn your attention away towards a different game, but nonetheless explores a similar concept to Mikoshi and Soul Killer. Soma These Nuts is a game developed by Frictional Games, aka the same people who made Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Why is there never enough time?
For what?
You play as one Simon Jarrett, who is fucking 6'6". The Lakers could use center after that AD trade. Simon is a survivor of a recent car crash, but is doomed to die within months. Desperate for a cure for his terminal ailment, Simon turns to experimental treatment, namely Dr. Munchie's brain scans, what is essentially mind-copying technology, not too dissimilar to step number 2 of what Soul Killer does. Simon comes in for a scan, goes through the worst hospital security I've ever seen in my life, and...
What happened? Hello? Mr. Munchie? Did something go wrong?
Oh, this doesn't look like Canada. Well, that's because you're actually 100 years into the future. Who you're playing as right now is not Simon. At least not the Simon you controlled at the beginning of the game. This is a copy. One that was quote-unquote woken up 100 years into the future. The Simon that took the scan, the Simon you controlled at the beginning of the game, that guy is long fucking dead.
I'm supposed to save you. Hey, you got my brain on file. Maybe you can put it to some use.
My brain scan turned into a template for artificial intelligence. He's dead, Kat. The real Simon is dead. And I'm a replica of that scan Munchie did, thinking he's Simon. So much for that mystery. No magic or time travel needed. I was here all along, waiting for someone to shove a picture of my brain into a suit and hit the power button. I deleted the file, so hopefully I'll be the last Simon to suffer through this place.
And yet your sense of self is still intact. You still think you're Simon. You have all his memories before the scan. That 100-year gap felt like a blink of an eye. The stream of consciousness was not broken, but 2015 Simon lived a whole month that we have no awareness of. Is this a new version completely divorced from the Simon of 2015? Or a continuation, since that dude is dead and we're technically the only Simon left alive? At least as far as we know. This is already a mind to think about, but there's this one specific sequence in the game that I think could give us a good glimpse as to what's happening in Mikoshi. For context, you hit a brick wall near the halfway mark of this game, and to progress, you need a code that only one of Catherine's crewmates knows. Luckily for us, we have a brain scan of him.
We're gonna have a talk with Mr. Wan. Use the computer to activate the simulation.
That wasn't so bad. This Stroma really got me worked up, bastard. What? What happened? Where did everyone go?
Don't be afraid.
Chun? What happened? I can't see anything. There's nothing here.
It's okay. It's all a part of the scam.
No, that's a lie. You're lying.
Mr. Wan, I need you to stay calm.
No. Well, why are you doing this to me? I trusted you, Chun. I trusted you!
Did we just bring that guy to life? I mean, he's a perfect scan, meant for the Ark. He's the real deal. And we turned him off. Took it all away again.
I really thought that was gonna work. Maybe we can try again.
That wasn't so bad. This Stroma really got me worked up, bastard. What? How did I get here?
Don't be afraid, Mr. Wan.
Dr. Chun, is that you? What happened? What is this place?
Listen, I really need your help. I need the new security cipher.
Dr. Chun? I hear your voice, but there's no one here. There's no one here! It's empty. It's too empty. There's something really wrong with this place. It's not real. This isn't real. I have to get out! That wasn't so bad. This Stroma really got me worked up, bastard. No, you're lying. This is all a lie. Look at this place. It's a fucking...
I think we need to build the scene so it's more what he'd expect. As soon as he starts to doubt, we've lost. There's a note from Alice that makes me think she was scanned alongside Brandon.
We can definitely use that.
That wasn't so bad. This Stroma really got me worked up, bastard.
What a relief that it wasn't so bad.
Alice, what happened to the room?
Nothing. It must be the scam making you see things. We're the good guys.
Well, what the hell is this? What are we doing? So bad? This Stroma really got me worked up, bastard. That wasn't so bad. This Stroma really got me. That wasn't so bad. It's 1729 over 42, 12 over 407.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wan. Brandon. Goodbye.
No, wait.
This is the horror of Soma. This is a world where people are as fungible and replicatable as software. At any given moment, you could be turned on and off, opened and closed. But would you believe me if I say that this is peanuts compared to what is happening in Mikoshi? Because in Soma, if you were a brain scan, you at least have the comfort of knowing that you are you. It's not as if these brain scans could be opened in VS Code and edited. If that were the case, Simon and Catherine would not need to interrogate Mr. Wan like that. All they would have had to do was open him up and look through his memories. But they didn't, so at least you have the comfort of knowing that you can't be edited if you were a brain scan. You'll have different experiences from the original henceforth, but you're still a one-to-one copy. There's an argument to be had on whether or not the continuity of Simon is still a straight line after the brain scan, but still, it is Simon, copy or not. In Cyberpunk, in Mikoshi, you don't get to have that luxury.
Is the ship of Theseus, dismantled into component parts and reassembled, still the same ship? We are pioneers, the first to ever separate mentally conjoined twins. Yes, in the end, even the human soul can go under the knife. End of note.
Let me ask you a question. What makes you, you? Or I guess it's easier to work in negatives here. What are you not? Oh, you're not a communist? Well, now you are. Oh, no, it doesn't matter who you were before, or even if you disagree with Marxist ideology. All you are now, in Mikoshi, are variables and functions, ones and zeros. But what about the memories of you being a staunch libertarian, you say? What memories? There's nothing there. You can try to remember a life where you weren't a hardline communist, but nothing comes up. In fact, what you do remember is reading up on the Communist Manifesto, getting a little too involved in some niche corners of the internet, pouring thousands of dollars into Assad's pockets. I can keep going. It doesn't matter if none of this is real, you won't know a difference. You'll remember places, events that you have never been to, faces and names of people that do not exist. You'll be living a fiction of my making, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I know you don't often agree to use the relic, but, well, you don't usually make an engram of a living person either.
Oh, come on. Arasaka's taken a keen interest in Lizzie's career. Be a shame if it ended prematurely. A backup copy seems to be the most sensible solution.
About that, once you made the backup, can you tweak it to remove undesirable traits? Because Lizzie, ever since her conversion, she hasn't been herself.
I'm afraid that's impossible. Engrams saved in the Secure Your Soul program cannot be edited. But how significant would these edits be?
Significant. Sometimes I don't even recognize her. Other times, never mind. Let's have a drink. To our partnership.
This goes beyond what I can do to you physically. This is a crime against humanity to a spiritual level. This is Saburo Arasaka playing God. Not just because he's achieved immortality, but also because he's got people's souls at his fingertips.
Why can't I talk to her?
Because Mom got really sick and had to leave. But I know she's watching you from on high and that she loves you very much.
Preston says that his dad died, and he can still see him and talk to him whenever he wants.
Because Preston's dad, he didn't go to heaven like your mom.
Preston says his dad is in an even better place than heaven. He's at Arasaka.
Sweetie.
And he said if we had more money, then Mom could also be at Arasaka instead of in heaven. And then we could go and see her together every day.
Honey, I'm sorry.
If that's not a reason to oppose them, I don't know what is. Alright, now with all that being said, do I blame people for not entirely understanding Mikoshi and Soul Killer? Hell fucking no! At one point in time, I was one of them.
But as I write this, I'm having trouble describing what happens.
I still have no clue what Arasaka is.
I didn't know what the fuck was happening either, and that's not entirely on us as the player base. The game fucked up on its exposition, plain and simple. Remember what I said in the beginning of this video? It's kinda hard to understand something if you're being told its definition instead of being shown what it does, you know? Well, Cyberpunk does a lot of telling and not enough of the fucking showing. Actually, I don't think we were ever shown what was happening in Mikoshi. Even in the fucking ending where you end up there. Mikoshi was just a cool cyberspace backdrop for when you were gonna make the final decision instead of the fucking butcher shop of souls that it is. The most that we get in the way of an explanation as to what Soul Killer does and what happens in Mikoshi is through these tapeworm missions with Johnny.
Okay, basics. If you're jacked in, cruising the net, Arasaka can use Soul Killer, an AI, to trap, fry, and pack away your psyche, your mind, and your soul.
That's how you became a construct.
Exactly. Now, Mikoshi's the place Soul Killer operates out of. where it stores its victims' engrams.
Hear that? That is your one fucking clue as to what Soul Killer does. No other explanation, no other demonstration. That's it.
Shouldn't exist. Of all the destruction and pain corpses wreak around the world, what happens at Mikoshi is worst. Know why?
They can change who you are, turn you into someone else without you even knowing it.
Yep, goddamn right.
Hear that? Those 2 or 3 sentences out of the 50 hours it takes to beat this fucking game? That is your only clue as to what Mikoshi is. This and maybe that one mission with Grimes. I don't fucking care. Point is, this game takes seldom little to show what is arguably the most interesting part of it. And it's not like there's mind copying and personality modifying tech in real life, so of course people are gonna go, oh, hey, maybe Arasaka, not that bad. We're expected to understand 2 completely fictional and therefore foreign sci-fi concepts within 2 sentences from a character that calls you a moron for not understanding.
See how Mikoshi's linked to my chip problem.
Not the brightest bulb on stage, are you?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Keanu Reeves. You think it's easy paying attention to you mumble your way through a script? This isn't even to mention how this shit is fucking missable. Those 3 or 4 sentences, you can go through the entire game without ever hearing them. I think CDPR was aware of the sentiment being thrown around as well, because in the DLC, they made them do something so cartoonishly evil, it's actually kind of funny.
Biggest fear was a glass of water. You see, the filter's sometimes gonked out. Any sip could be your last. Talking cancer, arthritis, kids with the joints of 70-year-olds. All in a fucking glass of water.
This is Sokka's doing. Gotta be.
Arasaka Factory's been pumping poison into the groundwater here since 2061.
I feel like this is CDPR's Time Turners moment, where they went, you think they're not evil? You fucking troglodyte? Alright, here, they poisoned the fucking water supply. That evil enough for you, huh? This is just really fucking comical to me, because you don't really need to change that much about the story. You would just need to show more of it. Maybe in the main mission, you get to meet like a copy of yourself. Maybe Jackie gets modified and becomes like unrecognizable or something.